welcome to A Guide to Every Deck in Legacy. Today we're looking at Oops All Spells. Oops All Spells is a graveyard-centric glass cannon combo deck that's looking to win as early as turn 1 by milling over your entire deck. The enablers for this are Undercity Informer and Balustrade Spy. The deck plays few lands, and the ones it does play are modal double-faced cards that don't technically count as lands on their front side. Informer and Spy each require 4 mana, which is generated as quickly as possible by various fast mana spells, including Lotus Petal, Chrome Mox, Dark and Cabal Ritual, and Elvish and Simian Spirit Guide. Elvish Spirit Guide can also be found for free with Summoner's Pact. Once 4 mana is achieved and Informer or Spy resolve, the entire deck is milled over, triggering up to 4 Narcomoebas to return to the battlefield. Then, as long as you control at least 3 creatures, they can be sacrificed to flashback Dread Return, reanimating Thassa's Oracle to win the game since your library is empty. Thoughtseize, Cabal Therapy, and Pact of Negation are all used to protect your combo turn. Cabal Therapy can be used from the graveyard to see if the coast is clear before casting Dread Return. You don't need to worry about paying for either blue or green packs since the plan is to win the same turn you cast them. Apart from being extremely susceptible to counterspells and hate cards, especially graveyard hate, the combo can fail if you happen to draw cards that need to be milled over, such as Narcomoeba, Oracle, or Dread Return. If you draw 2 Narcomoebas, you can still win with Balustrade Spy but not Undercity Informer unless you have a 3rd creature somehow. If you draw Dread Return or Oracle, you can Thoughtseize yourself or flashback Cabal Therapy. Any creature you sacrifice after milling will be replaced by a zombie token due to Bridge from below unless you drew it as well. Bridge also makes sure that your opponent can't keep you off 3 creatures for Dread Return by killing your Narcomoebas with non-exile based removal. You can also use Agadeem's Awakening as an alternative to Dread Return if you have enough mana, such as by casting Cabal Ritual with Threshold. Wild Cantor helps ensure that you have a source of black mana in case your only mana is from the Spirit Guides and can be tutored by Summoner's Pact. Memory's Journey may be added to the deck as a 61st card to fight certain cards and open up alternate paths to win if the opponent does something that would invalidate the combo. In response to graveyard hate, you can shuffle back 2 Lotus Petals and Thassa's Oracle to hardcast it in 3 turns, or discard it to Cabal Therapy and then Dread Return. Putting 3 cards back also buys you time to win by attacking, since you'll have some number of Narcomoebas, zombie tokens, and possibly Balustrade Spy. If you put back Petals and Oracle, this forces the opponent to fight you on 2 fronts. If your opponent tries to Surgical Extract or otherwise remove one of the Narcomoebas with the return triggers on the stack, you can shuffle it back with Journey, allowing the remaining ones to enter normally and be used for Dread Return. If you can't combo immediately and your opponent mills you out before your draw step, you can use Journey to prevent yourself from losing to an empty library and win via Oracle or combat damage. In all cases, use Cabal Therapy and any Pact of Negations you might have to try and stop your opponent's answers before going for the win again. Memory's Journey also has the occasional use of stopping an opponent's Oracle or Reanimator target. Oops All Spells is extremely fragile and can be blown out by counterspells, graveyard hate, and other lock pieces. The sideboard is designed to shore up those problems, but you also need to mulligan aggressively for hands that can win as early as possible. Typical sideboard cards are Xantid Swarm, Veil of Summer, and Leyline of Sanctity to prevent the opponent from interacting with you, and Force of Vigor and Foundation Breaker to deal with problem permanents. Xantid Swarm and Veil help you push through blue decks. Leyline fights graveyard hate like Endurance and Bojuka Bog. It can also be brought in against decks running a high volume of discard spells or combo decks that rely on targeting you, such as Storm. Force of Vigor and cards like it are used to beat stacks cards like Leyline of the Void, Rest in Peace, Grafdigger's Cage, etc. Foundation Breaker is useful as a one-of that can be tutored by Summoner's Pact. The most common cards to side out are Chrome Mox and Cabal Ritual. I hope you've enjoyed this look at Oops All Spells. I want to thank my fellow players in the Magic community for whom sharing their experiences helps make these guides possible. You can find additional resources, such as an up-to-date deck list, in the description. If you think I left out anything important or got something wrong, please leave your thoughts in the comments, and stay tuned to see what deck we look at next time.